All right, shalom, shalom. Real Hebrew Israelite coming week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America and its society. I'm going to start off giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders and GMS and brothers that sincerely doing this work, and the few sisters that are listening and learning and being obedient to their husbands. So I just wanted to hop into another quick sit down and basically, hey man, um, the Lord, the Lord is exposing who the real savages on the planet is, and it's these damn Edomites, and the Lord is gonna keep exposing them, and you people can't get it. And well, I believe this dude is an Israelite because he had too much compassion how he was speaking and telling the truth. But man, it's beautiful, man, that they being exposed, and we not the only ones being called savages anymore because of our skin color and how we look. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this video play, and y'all could just listen for yourselves.
You know, it's incredible because while they try to paint Ahmaud Arbery as some sort of savage, right? Let's talk about who the real savages are here. I would argue the real savages in this country, not just this trial, not just this case, but in this country, are the people who prioritize private property and protecting private property over protecting human lives. There's no evidence that Ahmaud Arbery engaged in any type of criminal activity or that he burglarized a house that was under construction. No evidence whatsoever. But even if there was evidence, who cares? That justifies shooting and killing people because of precious material items? Really? I would argue that's the savage behavior. Savages don't value human lives. That's what savages are. That woman right there, she's the real savage who's trying to justify the murder of a man who was jogging by referencing his toenails, when in reality what she's doing is justifying the murder of a person who did absolutely nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. And I mean, I don't know, since we're just picking on random things to justify murdering people, I don't like that suit she's wearing. Look at that ugly suit she's wearing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, how would you guys feel about that woman walking into your house wearing that ugly ass suit?
Not even your house, your neighborhood. If she's walking in the
I would not want to see her walking on the sidewalk in front of my home wearing that ugly suit.
And if she doesn't have a pedicure, I mean, she looks like a savage. Now, you don't want to turn her into a victim. Look, guys, we don't want any of that. We don't want any of that. We don't want lawlessness. We don't want chaos. But we're tired
We're
tired of right-wing terrorism that has been done in this country for centuries. Look, I don't want to... When they attack black people after they've been murdered, when they did absolutely nothing wrong, you're pushing us to the limit. And what do I mean by that? You're asking us to talk about history, the history of the South. This is in Georgia. What happened in Georgia? There were savages in Georgia. It was the ancestors of the white right-wingers. They were absolute savages. They murdered people. They lynched people. They raped people. They enslaved people. They took babies from their mothers and sold them as property. You want to talk about savages? Your ancestors were the biggest savages the world has ever seen. So don't you dare call a black man a savage after you murdered him. Don't you dare do that. I'm so sick of African Americans being called violent when the world's worst violence was done to them, not by them, to them, not by them. For God's sake, you want to do racist stereotypes? If it fit anywhere, and it doesn't. But if it fit anywhere, it would certainly fit white right-wingers in the South, who has hundreds of years of history of being savages. Savages. They snatched babies. And they sold them as property, and they raped their mothers. Savages. That's what they were. You want to talk about stereotypes? Screw all of you who still defend that Confederacy, that monstrosity. Anyone who defends that is a barbaric savage.
That's why they don't want to teach American history in public schools. That's why there's been a strong orchestrated effort to prevent the teaching of anything that you just mentioned right now. Because, hey, God forbid that, children learn about the real savages in this country's history, right? let's go ahead and dehumanize people over their toenails, but let's also erase the part of our history that, yes, is dark, that's awful, but is the truth.
You know what white right-wingers did in the South? And they did this for hundreds of years. In a lynching, they not only hung the person, they burned the person, and then they cut off their genitalia. And in the midst of doing all this, I swear to God, you could look it up in the history books, they had a picnic around the body. And then they would take home pieces of the charred body for memorabilia. They would have the kids, their kids, go pick pieces of the body off. And then after they did all of that, they had the temerity to call black people violent. No, no more. No more. You don't ever get to call a black person violent. You don't ever get to do that. So if you're a white right-winger in the South, don't cry about, oh no, my beloved ancestors. Your ancestors were not beloved. They weren't. They were monsters. So I said it because it's true. How you react to that is up to you. You can say, hey, that was terrible. They shouldn't have done that. Let's get better. Or you can say, I kind of love that history. That proves you are just as racist. You just don't get to do it anymore the way that you want. And that's why when you see cases like this and you see a black man murdered, you think, a boy, go get him. Go get the way to go, defense. So that's the right wing in this country. And I'm sick of babying them. Oh, my God, did we hurt your feelings? I don't care about hurting your feelings. You guys have done racist stereotypes against every minority my entire life. My entire life, all I've ever dealt with is your stupid racist stereotypes. And we're all sick of
it. Yep. And people, everybody getting sick of these Edomites, man. You know, because they did a lot of atrocities like this one, for instance. And that's what they do. They always act like they so innocent, cover things up like they try to make us the savage. This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work of evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand. Because what they doing? What do they do all this wickedness to us? You know, and then they make it seem like we the bad people. You know, like we the evil people. And they practice these things to see if it's so, and it worked. And they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what they do. They oppress us, they kill us, they slaughter us, they murder us. They raped our children. They did all type of things. Raped the women, raped the men. They gotta pay for all of that. You know, they're not gonna get away with just doing all of this wickedness and think everything all good. It don't work like that. They would like the dude was saying, erase our history. They want to get rid of our history. I mean, the woman was saying. And I believe they both Jake. I don't know. I really just think the dude Jake, and I don't know. She might just, because she was kind of trying to downplay it a little bit. No, he was flat out telling the truth, man. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, for which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughty, for this time is evil. Exactly, man. So of course, we had to go through these things because we sinned against the Lord. But these devils are the ones that did this stuff, man. And they think they act like they ain't never did nothing. They completely hold themselves that guilty, like we just volunteered this stuff, man. It's Zechariah 11:5. Who possess to slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed is the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Now, of course, that's talking about a whole different scenario, but you could use this against these Edomites. They act like they ain't did nothing guilty at all on the planet, when they did nothing but rape, robbed, and murder. That's why this country is built up like this, man. Y'all got rich off the backs of our slavery, you know, and we suffering. We don't have nothing, man. Nahum 3:1. That's why it says this: woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies, because that's all they do is lie, and robbery, because they stole everything. The prey departed not. They never departed, because they still got us under their hands to this day into slavery. We never got let go. We still here. We still serving under them. We still gotta work at they stupid jobs. We still gotta hope that we make some type of benefits here. They sell us bogus cars that break down and force us to have to go to these mechanic shops and rob us like that. They do everything to us, man. They stole our heritage. I mean, what more could you do worse than that? To steal a man's heritage, you know? So these people gotta pay for these type of things they did, these atrocities they did, this wickedness they did, you know? They didn't care when they was doing it, they just did it. And they loved it, you know, to take us down, to slaughter us, to kill us. They didn't show us no type of appreciation, you know. They just did what they had. They just did what they did, and that was it, you know. So they got a lot. These Edomites have a lot to pay for, while a lot of you people always defend. A lot of our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, always defend these people. What are you defending these people for? They didn't give a care about you when they was rape, robbing, murdering you, when they was beating you, slaughtering you, and killing you. They didn't give a damn. They did what they did, man. Edom always had a part of killing us, man. Right here, this is another one. Obadiah 1. I'm starting go to 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame should cover thee, and thou should be cut off forever. Why? Because they did violence against us, man. You know, violence against the whole house of Israel. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and that day the stranger carried away captive his force, and fugitives entered unto his gate, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wouldest thou would as one of them. Exactly, man. They did that to us, casting lots. But thou should not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their distress, neither should thou have spoke proudly in the day of distress. That's exactly what they did, man. You know, they didn't care. They was slaughtering us, murdering us, killing our people, man. People completely forget what they did to the so-called Native Americans and Latinos, how they almost genocided them, and then us coming on them slave. They was the first ones to go on the slave ships, the Latinos, you know. Probably some natives, you know, got put on them ships. But then they tried to genocide all of us. We all went on them ships. We all got beat. We all got raped. Excuse me. They was doing all type of things to us. This one Psalms 137 and 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And that happened in 70 AD. They was killing all of us, slaughtering all of us. You know, we had to flee. You know, I mean, we had to hide amongst so-called Africans. Just read a book called Babylon 10 Book 2. Go into y'all history and see these things that they did, man. You know, before they so-called trying to erase this history. You know, actually pay attention to what actually happened and went on around these times, man. You know, so you could see for yourself. You know, you people. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy should he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy should he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stone. And they used to dash our little ones against the stone and all type of stuff. You know, it's so much history you can go into to see these things. It don't make no sense, man. Y'all should start waking up and paying attention and seeing who the real savages is instead of letting them call you savages. So with that, I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to our apostles, the elders, and GMS and brothers that sincerely doing this work, and the few sisters that are listening and learning and being obedient to their husband. Keep pushing and doing the work. Shalom, Barakatham, and a Baba Ball.